Hello, welcome back. Not so much welcome to the couch this week, although there is the couch behind us. More along the lines of welcome to Darren's house, of all places. I've made the hour and a half trip down to spend a bit of time with my partner in crime, Darren. Much to his dismay, but I'm here. You're stuck with it. You'll have to deal with it. But look, this week, just before we started this video, Darren was talking to me a little bit about an experience that he had with a virtual reality headset, and that led us to talking about the topic around are our fears or our apprehensions in our brain, are they a reality or are they a virtual reality?
Yeah.
And I think a good place for us to start this week to talk about that is actually for you to just talk about the story that you talked to me about and your experience on a virtual reality headset.
Okay, so I've got one of these virtual reality headsets called an Oculus. And
Plug-in.
Yeah, can we have some money, please? Links in the description. And I'm not a gamer. I'm not a gamer at all, but I went over to my friend Ned's house and he had it, so I was like, okay, let's just tick the box of trying this virtual reality stuff. Didn't expect anything of it. Put it on my head and he set something up where I was in a lift, in an elevator, and you press a button and I'm looking around, I'm in a lift and it's at street level and there's cars driving past, and if I look out, I can look up, I can see skyscrapers, I can see birds flying around, I can hear hustle and bustle on the street.
Yeah.
It's like I'm there.
Yeah.
And then I press a button on the lift that says plank. The lift doors close and I hear lift music for about 10-15 seconds, and then the lift doors open and all of a sudden I'm up about 30 stories high. And in front of me is a plank. And if I lean forward, the perspective of leaning out of a gap in the wall, the street noise was muffled, but I could hear wind going past me. Everywhere I looked, whether I tipped my head this way or that way, it was like I was just sticking my head through a gap in the side of a building.
30 floors up.
34 floors up. And when I stepped out just to walk this plank, the plank creaked underneath me and my vertigo kicked in just like that. And I couldn't walk to the end of the plank. When actually, what I was doing is I was just walking on his living room floor. But the information I was receiving from my limited view, from what was being sent to me, was I'm up high, I'm on a plank, there's no safety net. If I slip, I'm going to fall to my death. And the feeling, even though I knew I was in a safe environment, the feeling was that I can't do this because my natural fear of heights kicked in. Even though I just knew I was stood on someone's living room floor. So from a logical point of view, I knew I was fine, but the feeling inside
An
me,
emotional point of view,
was an absolute fear that stopped me from completing the task, which is walking to the end of the plank and coming back again.
And it's great.
It was so profound that I thought, this stuff is really good.
And did you do it?
I went out and bought one. So I'm going to get you to try one later on.
Well, yeah, for sure. But now that I know the reality, I'll probably do it.
But yeah, so the information I was given in my limited sense was very, very real to me. When actually, when you take the headset off, that fear doesn't exist.
It's gone.
It's gone.
And that's the point, isn't it? Is I'm sure there are fears out there that our body needs to react to, but
it's a safety mechanism, isn't it?
That's it. And
be careful if you're near a cliff. Be careful if you're going to step out onto a plank
in real life. But what was really interesting about that experiment is that none of it was real. The only thing that you can argue was real was the fear that you felt. But even that was never real.
Well, no. And that fear controlled my behaviour. It controlled my response, which is, don't do this.
And it stopped you completing the task. And I think we talk about fears stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve in life, whether that be personal or career, all the time, right? And I've certainly seen and experienced some of the most adaptable people that have all the skills, capable, knowledge, ability to go and achieve things in their career that they just cannot, that they could achieve even, but they don't achieve it because they allow their fears of not completing that task or not completing that journey to override. And the reality is the fear is never real in that scenario. So like your fears weren't real in the virtual reality world, the fears for some of these people aren't real either.
They're not to the observer.
Correct.
To the person involved, it's real. And then in order to help them get past that fear, you have to help paint the world for them as you see it, which is a bit more real, so that either you give them the confidence to do the task and encouragement that everything's going to be okay, or you take them by the hand and go, look, come with me, follow me.
That's it. And follow me is a great concept, but it's all about the race for life, you know. And you talked about earlier about how in the race for life there will always be hurdles that will get in your way, and really what we're talking about is how to turn that 100-meter hurdle race into a sprint race by removing the hurdles. And I think if we can help people and educate people, if you will, pardon that word, but help people see that a lot of their fears and anxieties in life or in the workplace aren't actually real, that they're manifestations of what their brain has conceptualized through previous experiences.
Well, yeah, there's two solutions to that particular situation. You can either teach somebody that, if they're not skilled, if they just run headlong into the hurdle, it's going to be a painful experience.
They're going to trip and fall.
It might stop them dead in their tracks.
Yeah.
And you can either teach them to jump over the hurdles, go around the hurdles and find a different route.
Yeah.
Or, like you said, just get rid of the hurdles completely. And turn that run jump into a sprint.
That's it. And you know, coming back to your virtual reality piece and tying that into the real world, so to speak, is had you taken that step and walked the plank while you had the headset on, after you removed it, you wouldn't have had that emotional feeling and that response of that was never real in the first place.
I'll tell you what we're going to do.
I think you're going to test me, aren't you?
We're going to get clever with this.
Okay, go on.
So when we finish this, what we're going to do is we're going to put the headset on you.
See if I do it.
And I'm going to record you.
Yep.
And we'll add it to the end of this video.
Let's do it.
So stay to the end of the video, because I'd be really interested to see how his reaction is. Now, he's heard about my experience on it, so he's a little bit equipped before going into it. But it's going to be interesting, because do you have a fear of heights anyway?
Massively.
So it's going to be really interesting, even if, are you feeling any anxiety about it yet?
I'm starting to.
But it's going to be really interesting, because when I did it, I was just put in a situation.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Christ.
That's it.
You're going to know about it, so it'd be interesting to see what your reaction is.
Yeah. And the key is actually, had you done those steps, and if I do those steps, and I am a little bit more equipped to it because you've shown me the way. You've given me a little bit of information that makes me feel a bit more confident of, well, I probably can do it. We won't know until I try.
Or I've been honest with you and said, look, there's going to be, it's going to be a bit difficult. It's going to feel uncomfortable.
That's it.
But don't worry, you're in a safe space.
Exactly. And I think as leaders, if we can do that more with the people that we have and give more encouragement.
Yeah, and not dismiss their fears as well. Not go, don't worry about it, be fine.
Correct. Because life's not that simple. But the more we challenge ourselves and the more we take those steps on the planks of life, if you will, to help us remove those hurdles, the easier it becomes to either remove them completely, to take a different path, or to jump them, because we've now got that confidence by looking at who we were yesterday and go, well, do you know what? I had that challenge yesterday, or a bigger challenge or a smaller challenge, but actually I got over it.
Yeah.
And if we allow that, and we also allow that time for reflection to do that, because I think we're so ingrained on where we are right here, right now, today, that we actually don't take the time out, 5-10 minutes a day, to just stop, reflect. Some people call it meditation, whatever you want to call it, but to stop and reflect and to go, what have I achieved? And even if it's the smallest thing, it could be, well, do you know what? I got out of bed at 6 this morning. I made my bed straight away and I went for a run.
You could even go back further. You could go, look, what have I achieved? Once upon a time, I could only crawl. I learned to walk.
100%.
Once upon a time, I had to walk to where I wanted to get to.
100%.
But then, I learned how to drive.
Yeah.
And before I learned how to drive, I was like, what, you have to coordinate the mirrors and the signals and the steering and everything in front of you and behind you and to the side of you, and synchronize the accelerator and the clutch to change gear and move forward, and then the brake, and I'm going to mess it up.
And that's a great analogy, learning to drive, because I can pretty much guarantee, although it's a brave statement, that the vast majority of people that step into a car for the first ever time feel that fear or that nervousness or whatever it might be, and they're very slow. Yes, you have to be slow when you drive, but they stall the car a couple of times, they make a couple of mistakes, but they go through this journey, and they go through this journey of overcoming the hurdles of learning to drive until eventually they get to the point where they can take the test, pass or fail. They'll take it again if they don't allow their fears to overcome them, until eventually they pass. And then they go out on the road and their confidence of driving gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And as a result of that, we get into a car now, we don't even think about the coordination. It just happens.
Well, to the point where you've done a journey that's taken you an hour, and you think, oh my God, my mind's been drifting. I don't remember the last half an hour of that journey, because you've done it over and over again, that you've just programmed yourself to do it.
And that's the point. It's all about programming. And if you can program yourself to overcome your hurdles, then actually what you're doing internally is you're programming yourself to deal with the next hurdle and be stronger and more equipped for it, because your brain isn't going to be overridden by the emotional response like you were on your virtual reality, because your brain will be saying to you, it's okay emotions. And that's where the link between your emotional response and your logical response is so important. And if you can train your logical response with experiences in life, with conquering your fears, then when your emotional response tries to take over, your logical response will be able to balance that out by saying, it's okay. It's okay, we've done this before, or we've been through something tougher before, or we've been through something that wasn't as tough, but actually you still got through it. And every time you get through something, you grow. You grow as a person, you grow as a human, and you have more strength and abilities to go and do more.
I think in terms of going to do more, I think we should cut this short now.
Yeah, I think
get you in this headset.
I think this will be the shortest video we've done into the headset piece. But look, point of today, conquer your fears, align your logical response with your emotional response through conquering your fears, and reprogram your thought process so your logical response becomes stronger than your emotional response, and you will, I can guarantee you will achieve more, whether that be personally or professionally.
What he's trying to say is give it a go.
Give it a go.
And then give it another go. And then give it another go.
Make it a habit.
Yeah.
Make it a habit. And on that note, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Please like and subscribe. And we'll see you soon with a headset on, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now.
Right now. Oh, I didn't need to do that.
Move your hand as if you're going to press the button.
It's a nice looking lift. Right, okay. Fuck me, this is cool, isn't it? Right, here we go. Yeah. Fuck me. I'll do it. Okay. Oh, there's a walls.
Yeah, that's your safe area you've approached.
Right, okay.
So back
I'll
up.
walk backwards. Fuck me, I'm shaking. But I keep telling myself it's not real, so what I'm doing is I'm just programming my logical thought process. I can feel the anxiety, you can probably see me shaking, right?
Yeah.
But it's okay, because I'm just programming myself to think this is not real. It's not real, so it's alright. I can tell myself that in the head, back in the lift, let's go to ground. That was good. That was good. That was good. Shaking like a leaf.
Just So just go back to plank.
Go back?
Yeah.
What for?
Plank.
Let me do it again, you bastard.
And tell me what the button options are when you...
Say that again?
Tell me what the button options are to your right.
What's to my right?
To your right. Inside the lift, what are your options, button options?
Hero Academy, Skybrush, Ground, Cake, Donuts, Spider Cake.
Click Spider Cake.
Fuck that, mate. There you go. I'm coming down, mate.
It's not a real spider.
Day, mate. One fear a day is
enough. It's not a real spider.
One fear a day.